going on, you lovely people? Oh, my face is probably a little red right now, it looks like. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, now it's like super bright. Holy smokes. Okay, maybe not that. Well, we're going to stick with the red then. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. Actually, tonight, it is Friday night right now. I'm recording this about 10 p.m. Central Time. I didn't get to a small cap recap technically today, but yesterday. And I got thinking though, I was busy, and I got thinking, you know, what if I did a small cap recap on Saturday that recapped the entire week so we can kind of go back and look through what happened this week in the market? Because this was actually a pretty hot week. So we had a lot moving, a lot of potential, and we can kind of reflect back on it in hindsight, looking back at what some of the great movers were and what those patterns were, just a little bit more in depth than our normal small cap recap. Again, just taking into consideration every single stock that moved this week. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments below. I'll try to do them on Fridays moving forward. Although I know on Fridays, like a lot of you guys probably aren't just sitting around waiting like, where's the next small cap recap? You're probably like, where's my next beer? So anyways, let me know down in the comments though what you think about doing like a weekly recap on Saturday mornings. I think it's a lot of fun, or I hope it's a lot of fun anyways, because again, we get to kind of encompass everything. So without further ado, I'm just going to dig into this. Let's switch over here. Beautiful. All right, RDBX, a pretty nice mover this week. In fact, a very nice mover this week. In fact, this is my top watch going into Monday. And I actually just did like a 20-minute pre-recorded webinar on this for all Small Cap Rockets members that will be released moving forward with some pre-recorded video series that I'm working on right now. Going into exactly why, you know, step by step, this is an A+ breakout in my eyes. I would not be surprised. This chart essentially has potential, in my opinion, to have an all-time high breakout over 27. Not saying it's going to be tomorrow or Monday. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be right then, but it has the potential to, given this current development. So I'm excited for this. It's my top watch going into next week. We kind of had a few days consolidation before the actual breakout today. So Wednesday, we broke over this $11 high after, you know, gapping up quite nicely. You know, it was a nice breakout attempt. And today we closed over that breakout. We'll go into this intraday here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, that's just beautiful. I'll be looking on Monday to take an entry. I actually swung this from Wednesday. I bought in at 10.20 or 10.15 or something, like 10.19 maybe. I can't remember the exact price. Sold today. Unfortunately, had some slippage because I was in the grocery store and my broker was not available on like an app or anything. So I had my laptop in my car. So I was just sitting in the grocery store. And I looked, and it was at 1340s, and I'm bolted to my car because my laptop was in there. And by the time I got down to my laptop, it was down here, so I sold it like 12.10. Still a great trade. And I actually got really lucky on this because my plan was to be risking this low, and I didn't have a hard stop in. Stupid of me, but I happened not to be looking at my computer, and all of a sudden I saw it right in here by the time I checked the 950s, and we had this perk, and I was like, do I add? Now just risking this low, and I got thinking, I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I was already a little bit sloppy. I did want to add in here, in this area right here. Same thing though, or actually not in here. I wasn't looking at it in here. It was right here. I was looking at it. I had seen it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty nice. Like basically at my average, I could double down and just risk today's low. But I decided against it, and then that's when I went to the grocery store and saw it in supernova. Craziness. Really excited for next week with RDBX though, that is for sure. Jan, we also had a really nice move on this one. Similar story here. We have a very interesting key $5 level that I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on. If this can break over 5, I wouldn't be surprised to see 8, potentially up to 10. Again, it's going to depend on overall momentum, which I think will be influenced greatly by RDBX. The biggest thing we have going against us is actually the SPY, which fell off a cliff from about 417 down to 390 in only 2 days. So that is going to certainly make things a little tougher, but the momentum, if Redbox has a good enough setup where I think this can actually dictate momentum, assuming we get continuation. Despite the SPY. AERC, very similar story. Again, testing a key $14 breakout level. This was what sparked the momentum last week. Let's go to a little 10-day chart here. And same thing, we're going to that 1 minute. Right in here, again, this was just kind of, it was a tough one in this day, right? But it was up over 100%. This was the first clean mover. Oops, let's go there. This is the first clean mover we had seen in a while, and we just got a wild day 2 squeeze. Thursday was busy most of the day. This was that key area, without a doubt, the consolidation over previous day's highs. After dipping down quite a bit, I mean, it was red on the day. We went red to green and consolidated right at that, right over, basically at pre-market highs for, an hour or so. And then you had the breakout that led to the real squeeze, and it's been holding up very well. Now, trend-wise, it has been on the choppier end. But I'd argue it's over most of the trend lines here. This is another really crazy one. Over that 1420, over 14 really. There's some pretty crazy potential. So this is, without a doubt, a top watch. Again, market momentum. This also has the power to dictate overall small cap momentum next week. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on it over 14. But this is a really strong chart, up from 2 just a few days ago, beginning of, what was that, Tuesday? Was that Monday or Tuesday? Must have been Tuesday. Yeah, I'm really excited. This chart excites me. I think it's going to be a little harder to trade. I think it's going to have a little bit more resistance. So ideally, I can get it on a dip, breakout over 14, maybe push to 16 to dip down like the high 14s. I want this to break out first, though, before I buy it. The trend-wise, it's been a very tough one to buy momentum on, and that's okay. Again, the best risk reward on this has been buying dips, with the right here, and right here as an exception. Everything else has been difficult. It hasn't been an easy trend trade. So I just want to buy dips on it in strength over 14, over that breakout level. That's my plan going into AERC, or going with AERC going into next week. Let me pull up while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Let's see here. We have QTT, another interesting one to keep an eye on. Again, this is very dependent on market momentum. This was one of the very small gap that ended up running over 100% on, see, today's Friday, so that would have been Thursday. On Thursday, no, Wednesday. Wow, my days are all sorts of off. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so I guess AERC was Monday. My apologies. Same thing, though. We have a really nice multi-day trend setting up here. Oops, 1 minute. Nice multi-day trend. I think if the market momentum stays hot, this trend break is something to keep an... This trend line break is something to keep an eye on for sure. So kind of through those 160s. Again, very dependent though. This is probably going to have trouble if the market isn't hot. It's fallen a decent amount, but it's still holding well over that $1 area it came from. Just kind of mid-range right now. So definitely a good one to keep an eye on. Same thing with HTCR, one that had a very small gap and really just went crazy, coming from $1, went up to 320, and now we're holding in the 240s. This is more of, in my opinion, needs to just break over that 250 convincingly and hold. We tried to do that today. I say today as in Friday, so yesterday when you're watching this. Just had a little bit of a head and shoulders, but I think a clean break over 250 can really send this, where we're absolutely going to have more resistance in the 280s. But 250 is that first really clear level because we have a bit of resistance from down here anyways. Get through there, consolidate in the 280s, and break out through 320. That would be kind of the main watch there. And I actually just pulled this up, REDU, R-E-D-U. I didn't even see this. What was the news on this thing? Was this the reverse split? Oh, merger news. Okay, well, this was a really weird chart. I mean, from $1 to 7. Oh, halted that. So this must have been a news pending thing. Okay. Well, that's a lot of range, though. I mean, 180 to 450. A lot of range. I remember this chart. I was actually looking at swinging this back here. Or not back here. Wow. I actually forgot all about this chart. This is interesting. Very, very weird chart. You know, I don't even know what to make of this one, if I'm being honest with you. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Again, it's a very bizarre chart, but I'll have to look more into the news on this. I actually didn't really look far into this one. So REDU, keep an eye on it, I guess. Yeah, this is definitely one worthy of keeping an eye on. I think over 450, you have a lot of room to run. I mean, we do have resistance up in the $5 to $7 area, especially from, you know, these days right up in here. So I think in that 7, you're going to see a lot of resistance if you can get over. But this is an interesting enough chart that I'd really want to be keeping an eye on it. Unless I'm missing something. Oh man, and if this got going, education stocks, game over. Forget about it. Then you have FEDU, AMBO. What are some other ones? I can't think of them off the top of my head. But like I said, if REDU can really turn into some really bizarre supernova, education stocks are back on watch. Those are some really crazy movers. Like very, very bizarre ones. They're normally pretty tricky. They're hard to get a read for, but they're worth keeping an eye on. REDU probably will turn into that leader, in which case that could turn into a sympathy in itself. So a sympathy or a hot sector in which we could get sympathy runners with. So definitely a good one to keep an eye on. Oh, REDU, I remember this now. I don't remember what I was thinking of. I was thinking of a different chart. I was not keeping an eye on this one. But yeah, definitely another good one to keep an eye on there. So those are kind of going to be, what's blue move today? Again, this now we're not even looking at like, that was a bio. Yeah, nothing I really care about. I mean, it did move up to 7s today. But it's had too much volume, relatively speaking, so that's not a worry for me. Oh, there was one more today, I think, that could turn into something next week, but it's a biotech. Yeah, this is just kind of a bounce, like a weird, SPAC. I kind of call it a dead cat bounce, but it's been so choppy. So I think, again, my key watches, because they were so strong this week, are going to be RDBX, potentially Jan over 5. Like, don't let this one fool you. This has been a wild mover in the past. It's been a lot of gap and craps, a lot of them. But now it's consolidating in a really weird way that we get through 5 unless it gaps through it. I mean, it's run like crazy in the past. Very low volume, very manipulated feeling. Now we're getting a lot of volume. It's a very low float stock, which is why it ran on such low volume before. This can get crazy. It needs to get over 5. So I'll actually be looking for development under 5, hoping that today was actually more of a fake breakdown than anything else. And get back over 5. I mean, this legitimately probably won't, but it would not surprise me to see 10 plus on this. Another 100% over that $5 area. Again, it just needs to set up over the 5 or slightly under that $5 breakout level. It is a hard one to trade. I've traded this in the past. I won't lie, because most times it's a gap and crap. It's very manipulated feeling, but that is a setup this week that could present opportunity next week. And again, AERC, a top watch for me, another top watch just through 14. We're strong enough right now. Keep an eye on that. And then on the back burner, we have QTT. And then what was that other one? I said it earlier. QTT and HTCR, I believe it was. HTCR, yeah. HTCR on the back burner here. Very dependent on momentum, but again, they were nice movers this week, so we have to keep that in mind. It looks like a bit of consolidation these past 2 days, hopefully keeping some shorts trapped. This in itself was a bit of a short trap to start, and it just dumped back down. So again, one that's a little manipulated feeling, but low enough float where I really want to keep an eye on it. So that's kind of this week in recap and moving forward into next week. I know Bohen does a Sunday scan, so I'm sure some of these are going to repeat on there. But because of that momentum, I'm going to go back to myself. Because of that momentum we've seen, am I getting clear? I'm getting clear, moving farther away, it looks like. Just because of the momentum we had with all of these stocks last week, I think they are very strong watches going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and probably all the way up to Thursday, Friday. So keep an eye on all those. Let me know what you think of this kind of weekly recap to do on a Saturday. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Ideally, again, trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But if I can't do a Friday, I like the idea a lot of doing a Saturday recap for the entire week. So let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this style of small cap recap. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have post notifications on, and make sure you're trying out the Small Cap Rockets trial down in the description below, because I've got some really good videos coming out that I'm excited for. It's gonna be like almost like an unorganized DVD series where I'm just kind of gradually uploading them once I have enough under my belt where I feel like, okay, we can kind of get these routine and down. These are going to be great, 20, 30-minute video lessons, and we're already doing weekly video lessons, some live trades. I'm doing live trading every Monday afternoon moving forward, which is going to be a lot of fun, exclusive to Small Cap Rockets members, and all the education that you've got right now. This is the perfect time because it looks like the market is heating back up to really make sure you know what you're doing. So anyways, guys, without further ado, have a great rest of your weekend. I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. And again, hopefully you stayed safe. Hopefully you had a great week this week with all that momentum. And until next week, I'll see you guys later.
We hope you guys enjoyed that last video. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of the StocksTrade community. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but we can't do it without your help. So if you enjoy what we're putting out and want to hear more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.